Donde Aki, your boy Inky. Hope that you're doing well. Hope that you're doing fantastic. This is gonna be season 1, episode 8 of Jujutsu Kaisen, and this one it's kind of I so far I fucking love Jujutsu Kaisen. So the last episode was more about building the characters, was more about the upcoming event, the tournament. This one is about the creature, because sure we can have fun with the students, but there's a curse world out there. We've got Yuji training with a new teacher. The new teacher seems to be different. I like that this one is super different because Gojo, yeah, is goofy, but we're getting a straight face teacher, and he's really into teaching Yuji. Through him, we have Gojo. We see him as a teacher. We saw that he trained with Yuji fighting wise, right? But it's not important because Gojo is more prone to let Yuji learn by himself. And that teacher is really hands on. He's going to teach him about the placement, the curse. We saw last episode some victim of a theater. We know there's a guy behind it. And this one is one of the best episodes so far because we're seeing a sorcerer, right? And we're seeing this guy who keeps on getting bullied, and we see him getting bullied and bullied and bullied. And if there's teacher, for example, if there was teacher for good student, right? They would be student for the wrong student. They'd be teacher for the wrong student, the curse user. It's kind of like a Jedi versus Sith system. If a Jedi was to train a young apprentice, there's a better chance that the young apprentice becomes a Jedi. And if there was a Sith that was training a Force user, there's more chance that it's going to be Sith. Right, so we see that there's students, and it's not a clear fact that he's using curse energy. We also get a one of the it's more about hunting. So we're hunting for the students. We're seeing this guy with his car. We don't know his power. We know that if he touches somebody, he can deform them, so he seems super strong. We're seeing enemies and we're fighting. And finally, we got some Yuji, because technically Yuji, all the power is shown are super strength, and the power is shown aren't curse user. They're basically up for anybody. We've finally seen that he has power. His power are distant fist, which basically mean you can hit something, we're gonna do one impact. If it's strong enough, you're gonna hurt the enemy, and then the curse energy is gonna flow through his hand and do a second impact. So I do like this. I think it's a pretty cool technique. I think it's super I think it's well thought of. I think it's super cool. And yeah, so this is what we were expecting. It's already dark outside. What the fuck? It's 6:43. So yeah, so the story in itself is really good. It's what we expected. We're understanding that creatures are ancient, are human. So now we have a curse user who can transform human, and we don't want to kill human. We want to kill curse. Killing a human, it's kind of different. It's kind of like a Walking Dead mentality. Sure, this is a bad guy, but there's so little human left that we kind of have to stick together to survive, right? So we're getting this situation again. This is a story about teaching Yuji some curse, some movement. We see this new teacher, and the teacher to me are a lot more interesting than the student, because the students, they're not gonna technically, if you were to kill a character, you kill a teacher and not a student, because a student still have place to improve. It still has a place in the story. A teacher, it can be like, for example, um I'm gonna have to go with Naruto, and I'm sorry, but I'm just such a weeb. I have to take some different elements. I'm gonna get 8 for this, and trust me, this is not what I want. I do love Jiraiya. Jiraiya is one of my favorite characters. He's a far better teacher than Kakashi. He was a perfect teacher for Naruto, but it made more sense to kill Jiraiya than to kill Sasuke. It made more sense to kill Jiraiya than to kill Gaara. It made more sense to kill Jiraiya than to kill Naruto, and because all 3 characters that I did present to you, or we know the story is called Naruto, right? And you can argue saying, oh well, from a story standpoint, Sasuke is more important than Gaara, but Gaara evolves. He has an importance to the story, and he does evolve. Jiraiya, sure, he's an amazing character, but how much has he evolved from being a pervy sage to being the teacher, to being the guy who gets defeated by pain? He's a perfect character already, but he doesn't need to evolve. A student can be teaching, and one of the goals of writing a young character is we're seeing him grow up, and we're feeling like we're growing up with him. So this is super smart. Again, the fighting was amazing in this episode. The fact that Yuji is like, he feels bad about killing, is normal. He's new to this world. It's crazy to think that this is just episode 8, and of course, there's scaling. There's a lot of scaling in this. Like, for example, We're seeing a lot of months pass. We're seeing that Yuji is now fully trained, but not that long ago, 8 episodes ago, in our time, he was a normal person. Right? So this was the episode number 8. I love you guys.